Welcome once again to New Day here on TV3, and we're talking our social segment about road safety and some of the offences that occur on our road. As you may know, road safety to me is actually one of my particular issues, which I'm very, very worried about when it comes to here in Ghana, because of the sheer amounts of deaths that we have on our roads yearly. Let me give you some quick statistics. A total of 2,249 people died last year as a result of motor accidents, with 14,181 others being injured and 21,817 people involved in these surrounding incidents. 10,587 commercial vehicles, 8,790 private vehicles, 2,440 motorbikes, and it just goes on and on. I could keep on giving you statistics and it's just going to make you feel worse about it. But today I have with me in the studio Eche Lajekpo. He is the Executive Director of the National Drivers Academy. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well. Good. Very well.
I want to talk about the current issue with bus stops. Loading, unloading, picking, parking in unauthorized places. A lot of people may think that, I'm just stopping for a moment, so it doesn't have a massive impact. But when a whole nation is using this as an excuse, then obviously it does have knock-on effects. Holistically, what do you think about these particular offences, and how do you think they're affecting us on the roads?
Honestly, when I drive on the roads, I see so many problems, so many risks that all road users experience, partly because of the poor planning of the roads. Roads have not been designed, first and foremost, to be social roads.
Right.
They just been constructed so that people just go and come as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Therefore, those social places where people can stop, where people can have some refuge, for example, when they cross the road, they can cross one part of the road into another. Those things have not been factored into the road construction. So I see a road well tarmacked, but I see dangers.
Yeah.
They are not roads that anyone could use quite intuitively. They're quite kind of risky roads. And those who are using the roads, particularly the drivers, the commercial drivers, particularly, not many of them have had the proper training in order to know where to stop, where not to stop.
Right.
The combination of all of those things, plus the indiscipline, the bad attitude, all of these things make the statistics that you read out very, 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 very depressing. Now, I would have thought that by now, having had this independence that we have for 57 whatever odd years, something should have been done about these things. But it carries on all the time. Bus stops are ignored. We're supposed to stop. It's not about stopping somewhere for a minute or two. It's about, are you stopping at the appropriate place? Are you causing annoyance and frustration to other road users? Now, these things are totally ignored, but particularly the drivers, particularly commercial drivers, yes.
Okay. Now, we were discussing before we came on air about some of the planning that it comes involved with creating roads or even tendering for contracts for road construction. We looked at the N1 highway for an example, and we realized that, yes, a very nice stretch of road. However, Ghanaians haven't been used to having that amount of space to drive along. As well as that, the pedestrian crossings were non-existent at first. Then they created some which were not at advantageous points. So where is it that we're going wrong, or how can we address this particular issue? Because it seems to be an underlying issue before even the roads are constructed.
We are going wrong in the fact that we do not factor the pedestrian, the vulnerable road user into the road construction. So, for example, you look at the Tetekwashi, what's the one? Tetekwashi, Adenta, or that road. And I see a very, very, very dangerous road. Because when the roads have been constructed, there's no education going into where pedestrians should cross, where they shouldn't cross, where, for example, there are no road markings at the moment. So by the time you get around to completing those roads, drivers have acquired very, very bad habits already. Drivers have acquired bad attitude. So because there hasn't been any education before and during the construction of the roads, by the end of the construction of those roads, people have got used to the bad habit. The N1, as you see, they call it a motorway. It should not be called a motorway, but it's still there, Jawaka Bush motorway. It shouldn't be, because there are pedestrians, wanting to cross. And if you give the pedestrian opportunity, he or she wants the shortest route as far as possible to cross the road. But you put bridges some 500 meters away. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So they take their life into their own hands, cut through the wire meshes there,
Yeah.
and want to cross. Someone said, "Oh, if I die, I die," which is quite a strange attitude to have in terms of using the roads. So, to be honest with you, we are not doing the education before, during, and at the end of the construction. I see, for example, the redesign of the circle, Kwame Nkrumah Circle.
Yes.
Pedestrians and road contractors and everybody kind of all over the place. Such haphazard attitude we have here, and it's just like nobody is bothered. Nobody is bothered. Truck driver stop anywhere. That's driver stop anywhere, and nobody is just bothered. So that is quite sad. So the education is crucial.
Okay. Now, you being from the National Drivers Academy, obviously this is something that you would be feeding into the people that you pass your information on to. How is it that we can go about educating these people? Because obviously there's a lot of people who have acquired licenses in other forms, ways and means. That part is already gone, but now they're already on our roads and they have permits. So how is it from now we can actually go forward and educate these people about the hazards that they're actually causing just by parking at an unauthorized place?
Well, I think there's so many opportunities in that we can actually educate people. For example, this is a good platform to use, using television, radio. But our churches could even do that. Typically embodied. So therefore, I think I would say that all institutions which have human beings in there should have road safety as core. It should be part of core business. The television stations should have regular. We know lots of entertainment on television, but if the media can devote, a fraction of their destiny into road safety, I think that will help.
Okay. Let's just talk about the consequences and repercussions of road offences. For instance, if you are caught by the police, what can happen?
Oh, there are fines. In fact, there are fines for pulling up at the wrong places. There are could even lead to imprisonment. Even pedestrians, there are fines for pedestrians not using the road properly. Exactly. But you see, it should be enforcement. Right. There's a tendency where things are just brushed aside and things become kind of ad hoc. There should be consistency in the way we apply the rules and regulations of the road. And like I said, take personal responsibility for yourself. Everybody should take personal responsibility for themselves in the use of the road space.
Okay, great. I want to say thank you for coming in. We're going to continue the discussion later on in the week, and we've got some more road safety issues that we'll be discussing, so we'll invite you in at that point in time. So thank you so much for coming in. This segment has been brought to you by Peak Milk. Drink Peak Milk every day. And this has been Mr. Eche Lajipo, Executive Director of the National Drivers Academy. Thank you for coming in once again.